She is not the only NHS serial killer, and Lucy Letby is most likely not to be the last.
Beverly Allott, Harold Shipman, and Colleen Norris were all convicted of murdering their patients.
And as for Lucy Letby, in each case, the authorities were asked why they weren't stopped sooner.
The former NICU nurse Lucy Letby has been found guilty of murdering 7 babies and attempting to kill 6 others at the Countess of Chester Hospital.
Between June 2015 and June 2016, babies who seemed to be reasonably well would suddenly collapse, and Lucy Letby was the common factor.
So the verdict made 30-year-old Britain the most infamous serial baby killer in United Kingdom.
This is Nightingale, the podcast about the most anticipated criminal trials for you.
And we are now going to talk about one of the most serial killer in modern times.
We brought you the news that a neonatal nurse was guilty of killing babies in her care after a trial lasting for over 10 months now. After 110 hours of painstaking deliberation, the jury decided that Lucy Letby murdered 7 babies and attempted to kill 6 more.
This is your host, Sophia.
Giselle,
Mark?
Every day we examine and brought you the details behind the headlines.
we wanted to start from the beginning of her life, as her parents said that she was the only child of her family, always loved, supported, and cherished her all throughout her nursing journey.
Similar to our plans when we write our nursing career, right?
That is absolutely true, my friend. So from the day we pass on our boarding exams and get another requirements that we need, so then get the registered nurse or the RN itself, so that we want and get to work from the hospitals. So throughout our career, so it was very challenging.
That's true. Okay.
Now back to the story. Lisa Letby, daughter of John and Susan Letby, worried massively about everything and anything. She hated that she lived alone. She felt bad because she knew it's really hard for them, especially since she's the only child and her parents, meanwhile, just a little suffocating at times.
So wait, basically she's an ordinary girl. She felt really comfortable living in Hereford or in Chester rather, and at the same time, she felt anxious with her parents from their constant worry.
Indeed.
So this is a very ordinary person. So who becomes a nurse. So at some point becomes a serial killer.
So the news outlet asked the police if there is anything about her background that led her to commit the crime that she committed by killing the babies. Then the detective, Nicola Evans, said that she was rather a normal 20-something-year-old at that time.
And she had a group of friends, family, and social lives. And nothing at some point that will ever trigger or expect her from somebody at her age. And she was nondescript and averaging her work that allowed her under the radar.
And allowed her to commit these offenses and abuse the trust from the people around her. And we keep on hearing from the detective that she was some sort of vanilla killer, calm and controlled persona as described. And the same way we saw in the court.
And yes, sort of an emotionless person. And she also behaved the same way when she was arrested and when the verdicts announced in court that her parents were upset and distraught from the event.
Okay, so with that, how was Lucy as a nurse?
How was Lucy? How was Lucy?
How was Lucy? Her colleagues described her as a perfect nurse. She was diligent and passionate, a little nosy sometimes, but that's how she was.
So that's why I don't understand why she committed such crimes.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Lucy Letby killed 7 babies and attempted to kill 6 others. The way she committed this crime, according to investigations, she injected air into the veins of the victims, which may result to air embolism that leads to cardiovascular collapse.
Another way was incorporating high dose of insulin in their diet. So that causes severe hypoglycemia, which is fatal to the baby.
I also found out that she overfed the neonates, overinsert the feeding tube, causing hemorrhage to the nasal and oral cavity, even using blunt force trauma to assault them, leading to their death.
This is shocking. No background or whatsoever made her to do the crime, and she was so calm and collected all the time.
Now that behavior is scary.
Exactly. So let's now talk about her trial. When did her trial take place?
They said it started in October 2022.
Whoa, it's been a year, huh?
Yeah, and was held at the Manchester Crown Court in England and was recently ended last August 2023.
And the fact that she was also cooperative and answered all the questions that were thrown at her, contrary to what was described during her arrest. Lucy Letby said that she was suffering from PTSD when she got arrested, although it was described as if she was not defensive and seemed emotionless when she got arrested and charged with 22 counts at 6 in the morning on July 6, 2018. So she was also sentenced for life, and the judge said Letby showed no remorse and she will spend the rest of her life behind bars.
So, with all the inhumane things that she has done, and to those innocent babies, I must say that she deserved it.
Yeah.
And man, I feel bad about those parents, and imagine finding out the truth of the cause of death of their babies would really bring them shock.
Yeah, and I saw a clip earlier wherein one of her babies or baby victims' parents shared their thoughts about Letby. So they said that they were sickened by the photo of the nurse with their son, and the ironic part is when she was also the one who signed Baby Alvin's, the victim, Christian book.
Yeah, I also saw that clip. As far as I remember, I think she wrote to Alvin with Love on Your Special Day, ex Lucy. Am I right? She wasn't even guilty for what she had done.
In relation to the court, since she was also have tackled legal and ethical aspects in nursing last meeting, let's try to apply it with Letby's case. So which do you think is the legal and ethical aspect that is violated in this case?
I think non-maleficence was violated because this ethical principle means to not harm the patient. But what Lucy has done did not only harm her patients but also killed or attempted to kill them.
I agree with Giselle, and I also believe that autonomy was also violated.
And the fact that veracity is also violated since she have lied to her colleagues from the aftermath of her killings, and the fact that she denied all her crimes in the court served her final verdict of life sentence. Okay, now let's talk about what do you think is the reason behind her merciless act?
So there are some theories on why Lucy Letby killed those babies. One of which is that she had this sort of a crush or infatuation with one of the physicians. So if she caused a problem with one of the patients she was caring for, then the patient would have to come and help care for that patient, so she would have time with this person.
So basically, she kills for attention.
Yeah.
So no wonder why she mentioned that she feels so lonely.
So I do agree with that, since there are other known serial killers that are popular for their killings. It is the same with the case of Dr. Shipman, wherein he kills the patients after gaining their trust.
And also another theory was Letby was the obsession of playing God, where she decides whether the baby live or die, and also feels thrilled from the grief and despair of her victim's parents. That's crazy.
Yeah, she has this habit of searching for the baby's mothers through Facebook after her routine killings. Then she will send condolences.
That's really crazy and a bit
Yeah.
creepy. We don't even know why she even searched for their patients. And wait, we have a theory for that. So the theory is she might be curious for their looks as to what they would look like if they grow up, or she didn't want the baby to grow up and suffer from harsh reality from this world. That's why she'd like to work with children, as she mentioned during their investigation in the first place.
That's sick, and I can't race with that thought.
Okay, I think that will sum up our thoughts and facts that we know about Lucy Letby, the vanilla killer, as they say.
Vanilla.
So, as normal as she looks, well, looks can be deceiving in the society we live in, and that served her justice for a lifetime imprisonment.
So we bring you the details behind the news podcast headlines.
This is the episode of I Am the Wolf in Sheep's Clothing, or rather, I Am the Vanilla Evil Nurse Baby Killer, in today's episode 89.
This is today's podcast. Nightingale signing out.
See you tomorrow. Goodbye.